Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into dip powders from Kande Dips and we're going to be creating a mermaid inspired mani, and I cannot wait to play with these colors. Now these colors are definitely giving me mermaid vibes. We are doing dip liquids today and we're going to start right off with Gadget here, which is a beautiful purple dip powder, but it has like this beautiful shine to it that has, like, in certain lights, kind of looks a little bit like a blue tint to it. It's really pretty. Wait till you see it dusted off. You're gonna see like the shimmer. It's really pretty, and the name is so fun. So Kande Dips recently released a new collection, and it is a mermaid inspired collection. There are so many, and I mean so many amazing colors in this mermaid collection. And these ones right here, these are just 3 of the colors that are in the collection, and they are so pretty. This purple right here, you can see here, it has like this most like gorgeous shimmer to it. And when the light hits it, you can really see like this like iridescent blueness to it, and it's really pretty. And these dip powders are very finely milled, and they are applying very nicely with the dip liquids that we're using today. Now these dip liquids here are regular dip liquids. They're not the low odor ones or anything like that. So it is a little bit of a faster dry time, which I do prefer with my liquids. And these are from Sundara Nails that we're using today. So we are going to do another layer here of that beautiful purple here. And you can see those 2 dips really just brings this dip powder to life. And now we're going into one of my favorite ones. It's Gizmo. And it's my favorite because not only is this color beautiful, it is a very fine, like pure dark teal, perfect like mermaid teal. It's amazing, and the sparkle is unreal and very hypnotizing, especially when it hits the sun. But I also love this color because Gizmo is my little teacup Pomeranian's name. So this dip powder just like totally melted my heart, and I'm loving it so much. So we're going to be putting it on 2 nails here. And you can see with one dip that Gizmo is really full coverage. I mean, I really had no need to do 2 dips, but I really wanted to build up that teal goodness. And then if you are doing this on your natural nail, you definitely want to do 2 dips to build up that strength and structure on your nail. But this color right here is so pretty, and it's just this teal right here. It's just like the perfect like mermaid fin. Like if I had a mermaid fin, I would want Gizmo to be the color of my fin, right? So anyways, so this color is gorgeous, and it's a very, very fine glitter. So it is laying really flat to the nail. You can see here I am just gently pressing that down just to make sure that everything is just laying super flat to the nail. Even if I wasn't doing a press on nail, I still would be doing that same step there, just pressing down those glitters. That's just a habit I got into when I started dipping, and I brushed that off, and check out that gorgeous sparkle. Isn't it like totally hypnotizing? And then here is the 2 dips versus 1, and you can really see there with that second dip, it just overall enhances that shimmery goodness. But this is just a really fun glitter, and I really like how fine it is. And I do not have a teal that is like this pure tealness color in my collection. I have like darker, almost looks like a navy, but nothing like this. I feel like this is a really awesome color, and it just applies amazingly. And I'm brushing it off here, and here's the mani so far with Gadget and Gizmo. And then we're going to do an accent nail of Ariel, which is a chunky glitter. So we're going to go ahead and apply that dip base all over the entire nail. And for the first dip, I'm going to go ahead and pour over. This is going to help reduce some of that bulk. Since this glitter is a chunky glitter, it has some fine glitter in there as well, but I really wanted to reduce the bulk. So to prevent bulk, I go ahead and pour over that first layer, and then I go ahead and gently press down those glitters. And don't worry that we didn't pick up a lot of those glitters. That is the whole purpose of the pour over. So you're going to get more of those finer glitter and pick up more of that acrylic powder. And then I'm just going to go ahead and move some of those glitters away from the free edge and the cuticle line and just press those down. And then that is it for that first dip. But man, those glitters are laying super flat. So we're going to go ahead and dust off, and then we're going to go in with a second layer of that dip base. And I'm making sure I'm taking time to brush off those glitters just to make sure I'm not getting any glitters on my dip brush. And then I shimmied the cupcake liner to get some of those larger glitters up. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to dip right into this cupcake liner. And this time when we're dipping into the cupcake liner, we are going to focus on picking up some of those larger glitters here. And you're going to really see this dip powder come to life with this second dip here. So you can see here that some of those larger glitters are up on that cuticle line and on the free edge. We're going to move those around. We're going to press them down, and then we're going to add a few more. But I'm just pressing those glitters down gently here. And these glitters are laying really nicely and flat to the nail. They're very, very easy to work with, and just take your time and just make sure you're just pressing down those glitters. Then the more time you take pressing down those glitters and cleaning up that nail before you activate, the less filing and buffing you're going to have to do. So this color right here, it's stunning. Now check it out. Isn't it gorgeous? These colors right here, it's just like the perfect purple and teal, which really ties that Gadget and Gizmo together. It's just like the perfect glitter that totally completes this mani. So this glitter is laying super flat to the nail. So we're going to go ahead and dust off the remaining glitter here, and then we're going to hand place some more of these beautiful glitters. Now this is a total optional step. You do not have to hand place glitters if you don't want to, but I really wanted this mani to be cram-packed full of this Ariel chunky glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more. So I'm going to apply a thin layer of dip base, and then I'm going to take my precision tool that I use to clean up the sidewalls and the free edge and the cuticle line. I'm going to use the opposite side of it. It's the wax tip, and I'm going to pick up some of those larger glitters, and I'm just going to place them on the nail where I had a little bit of bare spots. Or if you wanted to do some overlapping glitter, now would be the time. If you wanted to pick up smaller glitter, whatever glitter you want to pick up during this process to fill in any gaps or to add some dimension to the mani, now is going to be the time to do that. And again, this dip liquid is on the faster dry time, but I'm not having any issues when I am placing these glitters. They are still applying to the nail and laying super flat. And these glitters are very thin, and the sparkle that you're getting from these when the light hits them is unreal. And I just love this color combination so much. So you can see here, we are still picking up some of those larger glitters. And now I'm going to go ahead and press those down here just to make sure that they're laying flat. And then I still had a little bit of wet dip liquid here after I was pressing down those glitters. So you can see here, we have a lot of the larger glitters on that nail. So to absorb some of that dip liquid, that extra, I'm going to focus on those finer glitters there and press down those finer glitters, and that's going to help absorb the rest of that dip liquid on the nail. And it's also going to create some little sparkles over that chunkier piece of glitter that we hand place to the nail. So overall, it's going to give it a lot of dimension. And check out that glitter placement and how flat it is laying to the nail. You're going to see that here in a minute, but these glitters were really nice to work with. So we're going to brush it off, and I'm just going to make sure that there are no extra glitters floating around or moving around on this nail. You can see one just fell off there, but check out how that glitter placement looks. And then we added a little bit of fine sparkle when we went back in to absorb some of that dip liquid. And you can see here that these glitters are laying very, very flat to the nail. So these glitters are definitely easy to work with, but this is just a way to work with some chunky glitters that helps me with a really smooth application and helps reduce that bulk. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear encapsulate these glitters, and I'm going to put a very, very thin layer of dip base. Now, thin layers of dip base is definitely key when you are working with dip powders. It is also going to help you reduce the time it takes for filing and buffing, because you're going to have a really nice, smooth, even application. So then we're going to go ahead and dip that in the clear, and what that's going to do is that's that's going to help protect our glitters from filing and buffing. So again, I'm going to do the same thing with Ariel, this chunky glitter, but you can see here I'm wiggling that brush around because I really want to make sure I'm getting into all those nooks and crannies of that glitter to really make sure that that clear is getting in between any areas to protect it during filing and buffing. And here is that clear dip powder. You can also see that I am tapping that extra clear powder off away from the clear jar. That's just to ensure that I'm keeping that clear powder completely pure and I'm not contaminating it with any extra glitter. And then I am gently pressing in that clear dip powder into that chunky glitter just to make sure that that is just laying really flat and it got into all those nooks and crannies. And now I'm taking a scrubby brush. It's a stiffer nail brush, and I'm going in and I'm brushing off all that extra clear dip powder. And that's going to help give us a really smooth, clear finish. If you've ever just used like a regular dust brush and you notice that after you top coat that your dip powders look a little foggy or cloudy, try using a stiff nail brush. It's going to help you get a clear finish. And now we're going to go ahead and activate these nails. I don't know, there's just something about activating that is really satisfying when you do that first round of activator, just seeing those powders melt together and transform into like an amazing goodness. I don't know. There's just something about the activator process that I really love. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and file and buff. And to believe it or not, filing and buffing was super easy with this chunky glitter Ariel. I'm cleaning up the sidewalls, the free edge, and the cuticle line, and that is all I'm doing for the filing part. And then we're going to go ahead and use a buffer block, and we're just going to buff away on that top of the nail just to smooth down that nail and buff it up, and that is it. That's all I had to do for this whole mani for all the nails, was just some quick cleanup with that file on the free edge in the cuticle area, and then just a light buff. And then check it out, here is that nail Ariel. It's a chunky glitter, and look how flat those glitters are laying, and I didn't cut into any of those glitters with the filing and buffing, and it's still very thin. It's not bulky at all. It's laying really flat to the nail. So this is why I like this method when it comes to applying chunky glitter. So let me know what ways you like to apply your chunky glitter in the description box below. I would love to know. There are so many different ways, but this is what way worked best for me, and I did do the rest of the filing and buffing off camera. And now we're going to go ahead and apply another layer of activator. This is just going to seal in that dip powder just in case we disturbed any of those powders when we were filing and buffing. And you can really see here these glitters come to life with that activator. It's just so pretty. Okay, so then to make sure that I am not contaminating my top coat, I'm going to go ahead and take a lint-free wipe, and I'm going to wipe off any extra activator that may be left on that nail. I did let that activator sit for about 45 seconds before I wiped it off. And now I'm going to go in with a dip top coat, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply quick strokes for that first layer of top coat, and then I'm always going to go ahead and brush off my brush on that paper towel before I stick that brush back into the bottle to prevent any contamination. Just in case I have any activator on my nail still and it transferred on that brush, I do not want to harden that brush, so that's why I always wipe it off before I stick it in the bottle. And now we're going in with that last layer of top coat, and this time you can be a little bit more precise in your application and take your time. You don't have to worry about doing those quick strokes. And again, just make sure you are wiping that brush off on that paper towel. And then here is the finished mani. Now, how gorgeous is this mani? Now, these colors are everything. Oh, I love it so much. It turned out great. We have a mixture here of different glitters. We have that purple Gadget. It's a very sheer, it's a very full coverage, but it's more of like a sheer shimmer kind of glitter. And then we have that fine glitter Gizmo, and then we have Ariel, which is that chunky glitter. So we got a lot of glitter going on, the best of both worlds, and I just love how it turned out. These colors are great. They complement each other. They are perfect for summer. These colors would even be perfect for that fall season, which I know we're all in summer right now, but fall is just around the corner, and these colors would look amazing for the fall time as well. But they are perfect and they applied amazingly. So I will go ahead and link everything that we use in today's mani in that description box below. Don't forget to head over to Kande Dips to check out the other colors in the Mermaid collection, because they are amazing and you'll definitely find something that catches your eye. And I'll see you all in the next upload.